Everyone. This is Priyadarshini Karthik, and I'll be presenting the session on how to read your lung cancer screening registry reports. A few housekeeping things before we get started. All the participants are in listen-only mode, and if you have any questions, please feel free to use the chat box to type in your questions. And we'll also have a QA session after the presentation. So in this presentation, we'll see what is LCSR, Lung Cancer Screening Registry. We'll focus on understanding the LCSR quarterly PDF reports, the LCSR Master Child Excel and PDF reports, and we'll also see how to use LCSR as a qualified clinical data registry for PQRS reporting. And I'll also give you a quick overview of QCDR preview report. Towards the end of the presentation, we'll have a QA session. In LCSR, we have three focus areas: report interpretation, data submission, and LCSR coverage. We'll address all your questions regarding the feedback report and some part of data submission. If you want to know more about the data submission part, we have sessions scheduled with Victoria where you can register and ask your questions. And we have sent out emails regarding those sessions to all the LCSR participants. And for coverage-related questions, I have included few useful resources towards the end of the presentation. Now let's get started. LCSR is one of the components of National Radiology Data Registry. It is a relatively new registry, and it was launched in September 2015. The primary objective of LCSR is to be used as a clinical practice quality registry, informing providers of their performance relative to the peers. And LCSR has been approved by CMS to enable providers to meet quality reporting requirements to receive Medicare CT lung cancer screening payments. It has also been approved as a QCDR for CMS PQRS reporting. LCSR is rapidly growing, and we have more than 1,100 facilities as of June 2016. If you'd like to know more about the registry, please click on the link here. It will take you to our web page where we have additional resources regarding the registry. LCSR data collection. You can submit data to LCSR using a manual data entry form, or you can use a flat file upload. A bar delimited text file can be used to upload data, or you can work with one of our certified software partners to get your data into the registry. So this section shows how to submit data. We have links, useful links here, which will take you through the process of data submission. Now let's see about LCSR data elements and measures. We collect a variety of data elements from the participants, and some of them are age, gender, shared decision making, DLP, CTDI wall, etc. So if you want to know more about the LCSR data elements, we have links here, which will again take you to our web page, where we have a full list of all the data elements that we collect from the participants. And if you want to know more about the LCSR measures, please go to pages 5 to 6 of your PDF report. We have a complete description of all the measures we report on. Now let's see what is reported. We report your facility level measures, and we provide a comparison at regional and national level. By the term regional comparison, we mean that we compare your facility measures to similar facilities in terms of facility type, category, and location. By the term national level comparison, we mean that your facility level measures are compared to all the participants in LCSR. Second, we report on physician level measures, and we provide a comparison to all the physicians in the registry. Now let's have a quick overview of the LCSR reports. The first report is the quarterly PDF report. This is the report that you all would have received recently. It has the facility level data, the physician level data, and the QCDR measures. The second and third reports are available to the master facilities alone. So each master facility would have received the PDF report with the child name appended to the child facility ID appended to the file name. So this report is an exact copy of the quarterly PDF report, and we provide this report to enable the master facility to log in once and view all their child facilities at a time. The third report is the LCSR Master Child Excel report. This is a spreadsheet report again provided to all the master facilities. It has all the child facilities and their measures compared side by side. And this is a naming convention we use for the spreadsheet report, and this is the naming convention we use for the PDF report, related facility PDF report. Now let's see the data that we use for LCSR report. We have typically three sections. Section 1 is the preliminary data, and it is the facility level measures that we report on. Section 2 is again the facility level measures with a follow-up through the current reporting period. And section 3 is the physician level measures. It has all the information submitted through January to June 2016 and January to December 2015. In the future, we are planning to make the physician section look similar to the facility section, meaning that we are planning to split the section 3 into two sections, so that section 3 will have the current year's data, and section 4 will have the previous year's data. Now let's see how to interpret your LCSR quarterly PDF reports. This is the cover page of the report. Here we have the facility name, and here we have the facility ID, and this date indicates the cutoff date for the report. This is the second page of the report, and typically it has it is a glossary of all the information that is included in the report. Section 1 is facility level measures for the year 2016. Section 2 is facility level LCSR measures for 2015. Section 3 is physician measures for 2015 and 2016. We have included the demographic data. We provide information on the QCDR measures and maintenance of certification information. This is a map showing the LCSR facilities that contributed data to this report. We have a good distribution of facilities from all the census divisions in the country. This is the frequency distribution of the facility characteristics. Our Fictitious Facility Sample Facility is a community-based hospital located in the rural region, and it is present in the East North Central Division. And we can see from this graph that we have a good mix of facilities from the metropolitan region, from the suburban and the rural region. And your facility name will appear here, and your facility type will appear here in your facilities report. Section 1 is the facility report, and we have information on preliminary data on exams performed during the current reporting period. In this case, it is January to June 2016. Here, we provide a comparison to all the LCSR facilities in the registry, and it is 2016 data. And we have the bookmark on the left side of the report for easy navigation. So your facility level measures will be compared to the entire registry. Now let's see interpretation of a couple of LCSR measures. So 89% of the screening exams submitted by the sample facilities qualified for the appropriateness screening criteria, which is almost the same as the entire registry. And 74% of the patients in the sample facility were offered smoking cessation guidance, which is again almost same as the entire registry. And 82% of the current smokers were offered smoking cessation guidance by the sample facility. Here we compare your facility level measures to similar facilities. This facility is a rural facility. It is located in the rural region. It is a community-based hospital and it is present in the East North Central Division. So that is the reason why it is being compared to all the facilities in the rural region, all the community-based hospitals, and all the facilities in East North Central Division. And again, here we provide what data we compared your facility to. Section 2 is again the facility level measures. We report on the exams performed during January to December 2015 with a follow-up through June 2016. This is very much similar to section 1, the main difference being the data that we report on. Here we use 2015 data with a follow-up through June 2016. Again, we compare your measures to the entire registry, and your facility measures are compared to similar facilities. Section 3 is the physician report. We report on exams performed during January to June 2016 and January to December 2015 with a follow-up through June 2016. Here we have all the measures, and this is for this physician from the facility during 2015, and this is again the same physician during 2016. And their data is being compared to the entire registry during respective years. Now let's see about Qualified Clinical Data Registry. To learn more about QCDR, click on the link here. It will take you to our web page where we have information about QCDR, the upcoming webinars for QCDR, and other useful information. So NRDR was approved by CMS as a QCDR beginning 2014. LCSR offers 3 non-PQRS measures, and this is a preview report, and it is provided to all facilities irrespective of whether they are planning to use the registry level measures for PQRS reporting. And these are the 3 non-PQRS measures offered by LCSR, ACRAD 21 through ACRAD 23. 21 is the lung cancer screening detection rate, 22 is positive predictive value, and ACRAD 23 is the abnormal interpretation rate. We have included the measure description and what domain they belong to, measure type, and what database they belong to. So here, this link will take you to our web page where we have the other non-PQRS measures offered by other registries. So you can see that we have non-PQRS measures offered by almost all the registries: CTC, NMD, DAR, LCSR, and GRID. And this is the physician level QCDR preview report. We have the non-PQRS measures here. And the first column is the physician level rate, and it is being compared to all the physicians in LCSR, and we also provide the standard deviation. This is the facility level QCDR preview report. Here we have the non-PQRS measures. We have the facility level rates for these measures. This is calculated, the registry mean rate is calculated for all the physicians in LCSR during 2015, and we also provide the standard deviation. And this is the master child Excel report. This is available to all the master facilities. This master facility has 2 child facilities registered, and the measures of these facilities are compared side by side so that the master facility can get an idea how the child facilities are compared to each other. Maintenance of certification. Submitting data to a national registry fulfills the MOC Part 4 requirements, and we have provided a list of participating physicians from your facility. And we have several marketing toolkits in our web page. It can be customized, and we can work with you to customize the templates. Here you can access the marketing toolkit here. We have several toolkits available: half-page ad, tabletop sign, web banner, etc. So you can show off your work with us by using these templates. And finally, we have the CMS reimbursement part. If you have any questions regarding the CMS reimbursement, please click on the link here. It will take you to our LCS coverage page, and you can access the frequently asked questions here. It will download a Word document where we have all the questions, where we have most of the questions answered. And we have additional resources. Click on the additional resources link in the presentation. And we have webinars. And we have the LCSR coverage and payment webinar, where we have detailed information about the CMS reimbursement. If you have additional questions, please feel free to contact the LCS coverage at acr.org. And this is a snapshot of the questions answered in the FAQ. Thank you for joining us. If you have any questions, please feel free to email us at nrdr@acr.org. You can also call us at the number given here. Thank you for joining us. Now we'll have the QA session.
Okay. We've got a couple hands raised, I think. Carolyn Baggett, are you, if you're ready, I'm going to go ahead and unmute you, okay? Just one sec. Can you hear us, Carolyn? Maybe that was an accident. All right, we've got a few questions in the question box too. First one is, our facility PDF report does not include the QCDR pages that you explained. Why is that?
If you have submitted data for 2015, then you'll have the QCDR preview report.
Okay. There was another question we got a few minutes ago that seemed to be a pretty common one, so I'll go ahead and read it out loud. Do the reports include all of the lung screening exams we performed or just CMS patients?
All of the lung screen exams.
Yeah, including Medicare and non-Medicare. All exams.
Okay, got a few more coming in. And anybody who's got a question about getting a copy of the PowerPoint slides, we'll be sending those out after the presentation's over, along with the recording of the presentation. Next question. Let's see. Some physicians have different ID under different facilities. Is there a way to combine them for complete data under a master? Or actually, I think it's the same physicians have different ID numbers under different facilities. Is there a way to combine them for complete data under a master? Example, Dr. Johnson has 5 different IDs for different facilities. If we wanted to see all of his data in one report for all facilities, can this be done?
As per my knowledge, one physician should have only one NPI. Even if he is under different facilities. But could you email us your specific case, including the facility IDs and the name of the physician and a couple of NPIs? We can definitely look into why that is so.
Okay. Next question. For a follow-up scan, do we add data in existing or create a new entry?
You add it in the existing case if it is within 1 year of screening exam.
Okay. Next question. Who has access to these reports? Can you access them as the registry administrator?
Yes.
Yes. Everyone who has access or log into the NRDR portal should be able to download these reports.
Next question. Where does the facility percentage data come from on the reports?
Could you elaborate your question?
If you want to, that was from Ben Chavez. If you want to send us a little more info, I'll read that out loud. You can also raise your hand and we can unmute you if you'd like to talk. Got a hand raised. All right, Ben, we're about to unmute you. Can you hear us?
Good. Yeah, I can hear you.
All right, we can hear you.
Cool. So, yeah, I was just looking at the initial data sets where I was talking about percentages of screened patients versus, all LCSR facilities. And the numbers were in the thousands. I was looking at, it was just an example that you guys had given. And I was wondering where those, is that a population of our current patient population? Is that where that's coming from? Or is that data coming from somewhere else? I guess I didn't realize there was a field where we could fill that in.
So the all Yeah, this part comes from all the participants in LCSR, all the facilities that have submitted data during 2015. This is all LCSR. Does that answer your question?
And then when you see in the first column, your facility, the 999999 is a made-up facility. Mm-hmm. So this is a sample facility that we are showing. Your facility ID will appear instead of 999, so 100, whatever it is, it will appear there, and your facility rate, including the numerator and denominator, will appear there. So your facility is being compared to all LCSR. We just cannot show any particular facility data publicly, so we just made up the facility part, but the all LCSR columns, the rate and the numerator denominator columns are real for the registry level. Does that answer your question?
Sorry, he's muted now.
Okay.
We've got another few hands raised. I'm going to start with Amy Patel. I'm unmuting you now, Amy. Can you hear us? Amy Patel? Maybe not. Okay, the next person we have here is Ann Weirs. I'm going to unmute you now, Ann. Hello?
Hi, can you hear me?
We can.
Yes.
Oh, great. I was kind of hoping that you might be able to show us today, going into the LCSR site and showing us how to do the reports, the accrual, the case status, the case detail, the aggregate reports. We have not received a report yet. We are new to getting our data submitted. We're going back and starting from January 1 of 2016 and getting all of our data entered for our multi-facility system. So we've got folks who are starting to ask for some reports on our current data. So we'd like to be able to start utilizing the report feature within the National Radiology Data Registry. Are you able to go through and show us a little bit how those things work?
We do not have a live report right now. What you can see is the data that you already have submitted per patient level, so at the record level. But what we are showing right now is the measure, calculated, and aggregated report at the measure level, right? So if you have submitted 100 exams, what is your cancer detection rate? That is what the PDF report is showing. If you go to the portal right now, what you will be able to see is per patient level. So if you submitted one case, say Mr. X, what is his biopsy report? What is his smoking status, so on and so forth. So there is really no functionality right now for lung cancer screening that enables you to generate a live aggregate report. But we are working on a tool that within probably this year, in a couple of months, we will be able to provide you that feature, and you will be able to generate your own report. However, you can access the sample facility report from our website. You won't be able to see your data because you just started submitting, but you can access the registry data to see, how what are the cancer detection rate and positive predictive value and things like that. And we can show you, Priyadarshini is going to show you where you can find that that report.
Well, you're going to go through that right now?
We can show you where we have the sample reports posted.
Yeah.
Because what we were hoping to be able to do is we were hoping to pull up the volumes for each of our facility, be able to identify the lung RADS category for each of those facilities, how many of those facilities had tissue biopsies, and how many of those tissue biopsies were positive versus negative. So you're telling me we can't do any of that right now?
No, not yet. But we are going to do it. Probably you will be able to do it in a couple of months. After we add that functionality. Right now there is no functionality that you can do it, not for lung cancer screening registry, not yet.
Go to acr.org and click on Quality and Safety. We have the NRDR data registries. Scroll down to LCSR. Here we have the sample report posted.
Yeah, it's under the core registries.
Core documents.
Yeah,
under the
core documents. Just the sample report that we discussed. The report that we just discussed was, we just
showed you in the
Yeah, sure.
webinar.
The screenshots were taken from this report, and we showed you in the PowerPoint. But yeah, we should be able to add that functionality in a couple of months.
Okay, yeah, that's unfortunate. I thought we would be able to once we had the data entered, we could start, you know, pivoting it around and looking at, you know, and being able to provide our physicians with, in our administration with.
Yeah, we think that, yeah, we are sorry that we do not have that functionality up and running yet. But from your next quarterly report should you should be able to get a aggregate report just like everyone else that will show your preliminary data from where you can see your rates, the preliminary rates.
So the case detail report, that will give us a breakdown of all patients, of all data elements, and we could look at the patients who have a tissue diagnosis. We would just have to manually count it, but it does summarize it in the detailed report.
Yeah, and it is patient level. So what I'm saying is you do not have, you would not be able to see aggregated rate. You cannot see what your facility's cancer detection rate. You can see for a particular patient what was his diagnosis. That you can see, and that is manually. It does not generate a report, aggregated report. It is your own facility's data.
Yeah, it will be the raw data that you submitted to us. For the aggregate level information, we provide it in the quarterly reports.
Yeah. And still, if you need more, like digging into more how you can use the case detail report for your facility, then I would suggest that you join Victor. You call us, because we really do not, we cannot show your facility data in our webinar. So we will do a go-to meeting with you, and where we can share our screen, and we can show you how you use those case forms and case reports that you are mentioning.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks. All right, next person with their hand raised. Let's see. We've got Ray Wilburn. Ray, I'm about to unmute you, okay?
Actually, you know what? You answered my question earlier, so never mind.
All right. Thanks, Ray.
Thank you.
All right, we've got a few questions here. Next one is, what do we do for multiple follow-up exams, and how long do we document follow-ups?
So all follow-ups within 1 year of screening exams should go to the same case.
Okay. Next question. In the LCSR measures on smoking cessation offered, is that by the ordering physician, or does it also count if the radiology screening department offers cessation materials?
Either one. Doesn't matter.
Okay. Next question. We submitted our data for July 1st, 2015 through May 22nd, 2016, and some of our data was rejected. We made some changes and need to know if we should submit our data again for July 2015 through May 2016, or if we should submit May 23rd, 2016 through present. Also, if we do submit duplicate data, will the existing data be overwritten, or will there be duplicates?
There will not be duplicates, so feel free to submit your data as frequently as you need to get them correct. The time span doesn't matter if you have, if you're including records that are correct in that time frame that have already been loaded to the database correctly. It doesn't matter. They'll just overwrite them.
Next question. Regarding the physician QCDR preview report, could you give additional explanation of the registry standard deviation column?
Sure. So this standard deviation, the data that we have is not normally distributed. It is a skewed data set, and that is the reason we have the standard deviation represented as shown here.
So the reason why we showed the standard deviation is if your rate is within plus minus 1 standard deviation of the registry rate, then you are doing okay. So that is the idea. Now, if you add 30.24 to the 22, you will get a positive. But if you subtract that, you will get a negative because the data is skewed. The tail is very long, and it is not normally distributed. So I would suggest that you look into the rate of your facility and registry rate. And if both of these rates are pretty similar, then probably you are doing okay. We will add more explanation to how to use this standard deviation in our next reporting footnotes. And we will also look into how we can make this more usable so that it does not go to negative number. But having said that, this standard deviation and the registry mean rate, as you can see right now, is just approximation of how CMS data looks like. We really do not know at this point how real CMS data look like, because this rate and the standard deviation that we presented here is for all the registry participants. But your rate will be compared to facilities who submit to the QCDR through us. Not all registry participants are using ACR for their data submission, and not everyone is not everyone is doing so. So this rate, as you can see, is going to be very similar to the people that are submitting data, but I would say that this rate is a little better. It could be a little better than actual rate. So if your rate is similar to this rate, then you are doing okay. Does that answer your question somehow?
Okay. Next question. Is a 3 or 6 month follow-up LDCT considered a diagnostic? Should that be reported under the current case or put in as a new case?
Under the current case, if it is within 1 year of screening exam.
And just to clarify, because we've had this question a couple times, if it's over 12 months, it's registered as a new case.
Yeah,
right?
it is a new annual.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
So it will be a new annual screening. For the first time, if you are seeing the patient for the first time, screening the patient for the first time in his life, then it is a baseline screen. And after that, every 12 months, if the patient comes for annual screening, that's the annual screen. All the patients will, each follow-up is only for 12 months period. After 12 months, you will register as a new case and report it as an annual screen.
Next question. Can data still be added retrospectively to 2015?
Yes.
Yes, of course.
Okay. Next question. What numerical value do we enter in the registry for patients that have quit smoking within the last year? Entering 1 year is not accurate when they have quit smoking a month ago.
Unfortunately, you still have to enter 1 year, but we are working with our IT, so you can enter a decimal place. It is still, they are still working on it. They are not done yet, but for now, you have to enter it 1.
Okay. All right. Next question, how often are you sending information to CMS? Are all Medicare patients sent or just a sampling of them?
We send them quarterly, and all Medicare patients, everyone, we send all the data, not just Medicare patients, so all the data that you send.
Next question. Once we submit the data and it states in progress, how do we know if the data submitted was appropriate? Does it ever update the status through email?
To save, yeah, go ahead.
If it's in progress, that means there was some data element that's required that was not provided. It'll just stay in progress till you provide that item. And then once you save it with all the required data elements, it will change to completed status.
Next question. Is the follow-up exam information only for services that we perform, such as additional imaging, or should we be soliciting data from the patient regarding other provider follow-up performed?
Is it only for their facility, or can you read the question again?
Can you?
Yeah, I'll repeat that one time. Is the follow-up exam information only for services that we perform, additional imaging, or should we be soliciting data from the patient regarding other provider follow-up performed?
We want you to provide as much follow-up data as you can, regardless of the source or the provider.
Okay. Next question. For former smokers, we never counsel them regarding smoking cessation. Are we supposed to?
Yes, smoking cessation information should be provided to all patients, but we will defer this question to the LCS coverage. Anita, are you there? Could you comment on this question? Anita?
She might be muted.
Yeah, I'm unmuting now.
Okay.
Yes, that's correct. For the shared decision-making visit for counseling, part of that counseling session, there would be smoking cessation materials and counseling provided to the patient.
So smoking cessation materials should be provided to all patients regardless of their smoking status, right?
That's correct. So if the patient is eligible, they would also need to be provided with the smoking cessation information.
Okay. Thanks, Anita.
Thank you. All right. Next question. A patient denies being given smoking cessation information by the physician, but the shared decision-making form is signed by the physician agreeing this took place. Does that override the patient history questionnaire?
I think this question is for LCS coverage again. Anita, could you please let us know?
Could you repeat that one more time for me?
So a patient denies being given smoking cessation information by the physician, but the shared decision-making form is signed by the physician agreeing this took place. Does that override the patient history questionnaire?
I think I would need to look at that a little bit more closely. I would say that patient history information is required. There's certain components in patient eligibility, pack year smoked, that type of thing, that would be required in order to be eligible for a referral onto a screening exam.
Okay, thank you.
Thanks.
Next question. When finishing a case submission, we have to log out of the LCSR to enter the next case. How can you exit a case submission instead of exiting the system and re-signing into the LCSR?
That's not necessary. So what I would recommend you do is to call us at the NRDR helpline so that somebody can walk you through how to do that without having to sign off each time.
Okay. This question is a follow-up. This is the person asking about the in-progress status and at what point it changes to the submitted status. She's asking, how do you know which data you are missing if you submitted everything that was needed?
If you go into the form, you'll see error messages that are in red when you click save. When you click submit. Well, let me back up a little bit. If you click submit and everything is in order, then it automatically is stored as completed. But if you click submit and there are errors, then they'll show as red. So that's the way that you can see that. If your form is in progress, that meant that you entered data that was incomplete and you clicked save, but and that way the information you did enter was stored, but it wasn't complete. So in order to see the red messages to show what's missing, you should go back into that form and click submit. So by clicking submit, that tells the system that you're attempting to store it as a completed record, and then you'll get error messages. So if you're having trouble with a specific exam form, then please give us a call so we could look at your example specifically.
Okay. Next question is for LUNGRADs 4A and 4B, if the patient is undergoing PET scan or tissue biopsy or worked up for surgery, what follow-up do you enter?
We cannot, we won't be able to answer this question on top of our head. Can you email us this question? We can email you back. We need to consult some documents.
And what's the best email if somebody needs to? nrdr@acr.org. Okay. The next question is, we have 2 child facilities. Our patients sometimes have the lung cancer screening at one facility and then have a follow-up at the other facility. Is it still accurate to log the follow-up under the child facility number from the lung screening?
Yes, it is. That is how you actually have to do it. You don't have the alternative of entering the follow-up data under a different ID. So you should put the follow-up data under the child ID that has the screening data.
Okay. Just a couple more questions here. Next question is, as with the caller about differences between what physician and patient says, we encounter that also with other key questions: timing of smoking cessation, presence of symptoms, smoking history. We decided to go with the ordering physician, allowing him or her to accept the risk if the patient is not quite appropriate. Is this correct?
It's question for Anita, probably.
Okay, so for that question again, send that to the lcscoverage@acr.org email inbox, and someone from that team will get back to you. They'll be able to answer that a little better than we can.
Do you have the answer, already prepared in your mind, Anita?
It was a long question, so I'd need it to be repeated.
Okay.
So the question was, as with the caller about differences between what physician and patient says, we encounter that also with other key questions: timing of smoking cessation, presence of symptoms, smoking history, for example. We decided to go with what the ordering physician says, allowing him or her to accept the risk. Is that correct?
I think I would need more clarification on this question before giving you a complete answer. There should be information submitted on the written order from the ordering physician. So there shouldn't be a lot of question with regard to the required elements because it should be included, many of them should be included on the actual order that you're receiving. We can talk offline though if you have my inbox.
Yeah.
Thank you. Okay. Let's see. Looks like we've got a hand raised. Let's see. Again, we've got Amy Patel. Your hand's raised again, so I'm going to unmute you if you're there. You there, Amy? If you're talking, we can't hear you, but you can send us your question to the questions box if you have any others. Let's see. So we've got one more question here. If a patient said the ordering physician did not do smoking cessation guidance, but the radiology screening provided materials, you can document that, sorry, trying to figure out what exactly. Okay. If a patient said the ordering physician did not do smoking cessation guidance, but the radiology screening provided materials, you can document that and answer yes to the question. So each facility should provide, if possible, for follow-up for positives, including final tissue diagnosis and up to the patient's death if known. So I guess maybe that's not a question, but a response to a previous question. Sorry about that. If anybody else has any questions, go ahead and type them to us or raise your hand. It looks like that's all we have for now. Okay, we don't have anything else, so you want to wrap up?
Thank you for joining us, and we have Ask Victoria sessions scheduled if you have any questions about the data submission. And if you have any questions regarding the report interpretation, please email us at nrdr@acr.org. You can also call us at the number provided towards the end of the presentation. And we'll be sending the presentation slides to everyone registered. Thank you for joining us.